Hi friends, as promised we're going to make some nosy bookmarks. So the first thing that you need to do is to gather your supplies. You can use an ordinary piece of colored cardstock, and you'll need a pencil or a pen, a ruler, a paper hole punch, and I have some googly eyes and some of those handy dandy glue dots. You might remember using those for our Thanksgiving centerpieces. If you don't have these materials, you can just use a marker to draw eyes, or be creative if you want to cut some out in another color and glue them on. However you want to make your eyes would be fine. And I have some pipe cleaners that we'll use for little antenna designs at the top. If you don't have pipe cleaners, you can use some ribbon. You can cut construction paper, yarn. Be as creative as you like with this. I'll just give you the general steps of what we're going to do. Okay, so after you've gathered all of these materials, you're going to start with your piece of paper and you're going to fold it in what we call the hamburger fold. That's in half, the fat way, not the long skinny way, which would be the hot dog way, but in half, the hamburger style. Once you fold it in half, depending on the size of your paper, it should be about 6 inches on each side. So once you get that crease, you can just use your scissors and cut along the fold line so that you'll end up with 2 pieces of paper, each half size. So I've used one of my pieces for my nosy bookmark, and I have the other piece left here. So once you cut along that line, you'll get 2 pieces like this also. So you take one of the 2 pieces now, and what you're going to do is you're going to measure and cut from this piece now. So again, this piece should be about 6 inches long, so you can use your ruler to measure that 6-inch side. And make sure, if you have a ruler, that you're using the standard US unit of inches. And on the opposite side, you may see the cm for centimeter, which is the metric system. But we're going to use the standard US measurement on this side of the ruler that shows us the inches. So if I measure what I just cut on that side, it measures 6 inches in width. Okay, so where that 6 inches is there, you're going to keep that 6-inch side and you're going to cut 3 inches. So it's going to be 3 inches wide by 6 inches long. So I've got my ruler here, and I am going to fold it alongside of the paper like we've learned to measure. That it's going to be lined up on the edge. So I know from the edge to the 1 is 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. So I'm going to make a little line at the 3-inch mark. Okay, then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up to make a straight line where I will cut at that 3 inches. After I make my straight line, I will take my scissors and cut along that straight line. Once I cut along that straight line, I will come away with a piece of paper that is 3 inches wide by 6 inches long. And so now I'm ready to begin using this piece of paper to make my nosy bookmark. So The first thing I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to take my fingers and make these two corners come together in the middle. Not folded in half like that, but it's going to be folded into three parts, what we would call thirds. And so if I put my finger in the middle, about in the middle, this corner needs to come to where my finger is. And then I'm going to fold that. And so that's one part. And now this corner is going to meet that part in the middle. Like that. So we have three parts, right? 1, 2, 3. So we call that folding in thirds. So after I've folded my paper into thirds, I'm going to use that crease line from my fold right here, and that line is going to show me where to cut the sides to make the Nosey bookmark's nose. So I'm going to get my scissors, and I'm going to start at about where the bottom of the nose is going to be. So I'm going to stand him up on this side so you can see a little bit better. About how far down his nose goes. Your nose can be longer or shorter, but you're not going to cut all the way through the paper. What you're going to do is you're going to cut just a little bit on that crease, just enough to fit your scissors inside the hole. So you can now cut, and you're going to cut a line up on that side. Now, you're not going to go all the way up, are you? Because you'll see, you just want to stop right about where his eyes are going to be. So you're going to cut up like that on both sides. And I'm going to get my other one going here. And when you finish those two sides, you should have two open sides like that. And then you're going to cut around the bottom to make the nose. Okay, so I could do that with this other one too and show you. Maybe you want to make your nose a little bit different than mine. It's okay, you can do that too. Okay. Now you should have your nose on your marker. So now you're going to take either a marker or whatever you've chosen to use for eyes, and you're going to stick the eyes on there. Again, my handy dandy glue dots here and my googly eyes. Stick them right on the top here. After I get my googly eyes on, now those handy dandy glue dots, I think it's these googly eyes with the eyelashes. Some of us were having trouble with those during the turkey centerpieces too, weren't we? Wonder what would be different. We'll have to investigate to see what's different about these googly eyes than these that makes those stick and that these don't. At any rate, once you get the googly eyes on, or whatever eyes on, you're going to take your hole punch and you're going to put it down so that there's enough room to leave some space at the top. And on this one, I think I'm going to put 2 antennae instead of just 1. So I put 2 holes. Then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to stick it inside one of the holes. And maybe I want to make it come up like this and make a antenna there. And then one on the other side too. Maybe twist it a little bit. Maybe you want to make them wavy. However you'd like to do it. Okay. Now, once you get your antenna up, maybe you want to do something to make some kind of silly hair also. You can certainly do that. So let's see if we can just take your scissors and maybe just cut some hair. You can take your scissors and curl it. Take a piece of paper and your thumb and hold it and just run it along there. It should curl, or maybe it will cut. Let's see. And maybe I'll get a marker and mark these. There you have it, or not. Your Nosey bookmark. At least you have the nose still. If anyone would like some googly eyes, let's try this other pair just to make sure they work before I send out this offer to you. If you want to put googly eyes on your bookmark and you don't have them, when we come back to school and we're together again, I will bring my bag of googly eyes and you can put them on your bookmark, because yes, indeed, it's just the ones with the eyelashes and colored eyelids that seem to be falling off. The regular eyes seem to do fine. And maybe you could help me. We could look at the difference between the two and see why is it that those others don't work as well. That would be a good science project for us to determine the answer to that. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'm going to find another good book so that I can put this Nosey bookmark in that and use both of them. Have fun.